Hey y'all, this is everything I ate in a week. It's all dairy-free and completely sugar-free, which means no added sugars or sugar alternatives. Just some quick background. I watched exactly one documentary and now I think I'm an expert on nutrition, but it actually was a really interesting documentary. The main points are that sugar is literally as addictive as cocaine and it's in everything. And not just desserts and sweets that obviously have sugar, but it's also added in everything else too, from breads to pasta sauce, cereal, ketchup, peanut butter, wheat thins, chicken nuggets. You name it, it's probably got sugar in it. So basically the average person consumes like 3 or 4 times more sugar than you should have, and it's causing a bunch of health problems. Now this is unrelated to the naturally occurring sugars in like fruits. Those are fine and you need those natural sugars. We're talking about added sugar. Apparently when you stop eating sugar or at least drastically reduce sugar intake, you have a bunch more energy throughout the day, your focus increases, you sleep better at night, and you lose weight. So for the entire month of January, I've been having absolutely zero sugar. And then no dairy either, because apparently I hate myself and like to make my life as difficult as possible. Okay, here's what I ate. I start every morning with black tea decaf, because we don't do drugs. This is the only time I'm showing this, but just know I have tea every morning. I also have sweet potato hash for breakfast every single morning. I've been doing this for like 6 months, since before I even went sugar-free. I make a bunch at the beginning of the week and then eat it every morning. I make different variations depending on what I have. This week's has onion, sweet potato, mushroom, garlic powder, thawed frozen spinach, mixed vegetables, and then one vegan sausage link. I usually add more than that, but I only have one. And now I'm adding my lentils that I had pre-cooked the night before. And my absolute favorite thing to have with it is, depending what you call it, it's either polenta or grits. It's just cornmeal and water, but I call it polenta. And there she is, baby. Salt and pepper on there. Breakfast of champions. Okay, this is also the only time I'm showing this, but throughout the day I just drink my water bottle of herbal tea. This one is wild berry. This is like a Southwest chicken salad thing. We had shredded chicken from the night before, salsa. Make sure you read the ingredients label for added sugar. Avocado, corn, and then olive oil and salt and pepper. And then some carrots, celery, and hummus. Green apple and unsalted almonds. I know it looks sad, but I honestly love it. I don't know what to tell you. I make different variations of smoothies most days. This one is a banana, unsweetened almond milk, oats for texture, peanut butter, Justin's brand has no added sugar, and then unsweetened cocoa powder and ice. Tuna sandwich, just tuna, tomatoes, olives, onion, pickles on toasted rye bread. Make sure to read the bread label, and then sweet potato chips. Leftover sweet potato hash and polenta with the toasted little nubby heel of this whole grain bread, and then vegan butter. Alrighty, fried rice. Heat sesame oil and olive oil, scramble some eggs, add mushrooms, mixed vegetables, and leftover brown rice from a few nights ago, and I think I also added some spinach. And then drizzle some sriracha on there. Look at that aesthetic Bobby Flay, I'm coming for ya.
All around me are familiar faces.
I took one bite and I said to myself, Self, you didn't check to make sure there was no sugar in there, and there was. It's only 1 gram, I know it's, but I'm sorry. Okie dokie, back on track. Unsalted almonds in a smoothie with banana, unsweetened almond milk, oats, and peanut butter. Fish with Cajun seasoning baked in a little toaster oven at 400 for like 15 minutes. More leftover brown rice, cauliflower and green beans, sauteed, avocado, salt and pepper, and I already cut the fish to make sure it was done. Sorry if it doesn't look that good. Sweet potato hash with leftover fried rice. That's it. More hummus and veggies and a mix of sweet potato chips and kettle sea salt chips. And then an open-faced tuna sandwich on toasted rye with just tomato, onion, salt, and pepper. Classic. Do not drink this stuff. The almond coconut blend is disgusting. I hate coconut, but I'm trying to get that calcium and I don't want to waste it. Okay, so roasted veggies and chicken. We got potatoes and green beans. There might be cauliflower too. Olive oil, thyme, rosemary, garlic powder, salt, pepper. Then put it on a tray with the chicken that has the same seasoning. Raw chicken is a sin. I'm sorry for making you look at it. Put it in the oven at 400 for like 30 minutes. There she is, such a beauty. Shot on an iPhone 6. Steve Jobs could never. And to nobody's surprise, does it even look good? I don't know. Sorry if it doesn't. Since I have the same thing for breakfast, I thought I'd have breakfast for lunch to show more options. This is a pancake thing, just mush a banana, add an egg and oats. Super simple, just put it in a skillet. You'll have to like flatten it down, but don't make one big one. When you try to flip it, it'll break. Just make two smaller ones. Take some peanuts, read the labels, some have sugar, grind them in a food processor, then spread your Justin's peanut butter on the pancake and top with the peanuts. This is honestly like my favorite. I've also had it without peanuts and peanut butter and instead with pumpkin pie spice, applesauce, and almonds. It's a good one, I promise. And y'all already know what it is. Do not sleep on sweet potatoes, y'all. I need someone to explain to me why, for 3 whole days, I had been craving an apple cinnamon muffin, which is strange because 1, I don't think I've ever had an apple cinnamon muffin in my life, and 2, I hate cinnamon. Snickerdoodles can die. Cinnamon rolls can die. Apple crisp is actually alright with lots of ice cream, but I was craving a muffin. Can't have a muffin. What can I have? Oatmeal. I trust y'all know how to microwave oatmeal. Just mix it with water, add chopped green apple, microwave it. Then comes the nutmeg and the cinnamon. It actually wasn't that bad, and I've made this again since then. Smoothie time. Just add ice, banana, almond milk, cocoa powder, peanut butter, and then peanuts for texture instead of oats because I already had oats. Alrighty, grand finale people. We got lentil meatless meatballs and spaghetti. These are the rest of the leftover lentils from the breakfast hash earlier in the week. Put them in the food processor and do the same for some onion. Then put them in a bowl with flour, crushed red pepper, parsley, basil, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and mix it up. Form them into balls and put your balls on your dirty pan into the toaster oven at 400, maybe for like 20 minutes. I don't remember. Cook your spaghetti. I'm using the thin kind. Remember to read the ingredient label because the nutrition label says there's sugar, but it means sugar from carbs. There's no added sugar. Then make a super easy pasta sauce with canned tomatoes and then all the same stuff we put in the lentil balls. I'm sorry there's no measurements, but I'm a professional chef. I don't need them. Then simmer it, and as it heats up, you can crush your tomatoes. And then put it in a special bowl. Yellow is my favorite color. Okay, so now for my thoughts. Do I think it's worth it to reduce sugar intake? Well, yes and no, it kinda is. Even though I honestly didn't feel a whole lot of the improvements other people apparently feel, except for maybe my mood was better in the morning and I was able to wake up and get out of bed a little easier, I still think it is worth it to at least drastically reduce sugar intake. The reason I probably didn't see that much of an improvement is because I don't think I was starting out the same place your average person would be starting out. Like I said, this sweet potato hash is how I've been eating breakfast for months, and I've been drinking nothing but herbal teas for years now. I stopped drinking pop and soda in high school, and I've never drank alcohol. So maybe if you are someone who consumes a lot of sugar and sugar alternatives, then you would feel more of a difference. But I think instead of starting at the bottom of the ladder, I was already only like 2 rungs away from the top, so I started out not having that far to go. Does that analogy make sense? So if I think it's worth it to reduce sugar and I didn't even see that much of a difference, then you'll probably think it's really worth it if you're someone who would notice more of a drastic change in how you feel. Another thing I've been thinking about is our attitudes toward food and the reasoning behind our food choices. We all know that food is our source of energy. It is the fuel to power our bodies, but do we actually take that fact into consideration when we choose what kinds of foods we eat? Probably too often when we do think about the effect food will have on our body, it's coming from a negative space of food making you gain weight rather than a positive place of food as fuel and empowerment. So maybe just start to examine the way you think about food and the attitude you have about what you put in your body. And speaking of attitudes, last thing and then I'm done, I bet 99% of you watching this are saying, I could never do that, I could never go sugar-free. But I bet if you took a step back and honestly thought about it, you would know that is a cop-out. You really think you're that weak? No, you are lying to yourself because you don't want to be uncomfortable, because change would mean leaving what's safe and familiar. Now, I'm not here to talk about how access to food and ability to spend time preparing meals is related to class and privilege and whatnot, because that's a whole other video and I could go on for days, but if you recognize that you are someone who is able to reevaluate your food choices, maybe you should. Because in case you didn't know, you can actually do anything, and I say the word can to mean permission and ability. And now I'm not just talking about food, I'm trying to inspire you for your life. You have permission to do anything you want, and you have the ability to do anything you want to do. I promise y'all, there is nothing that you lack. Okay, that's it. Someone please invite me to your dinner party. I'm getting tired of cooking all my own meals. This is a real request. Please DM me on Twitter. Also, if I got anything wrong, just roast me in the comments or ask a question. I'll literally respond to them all. That's it. Bye.